Welcome to TKM Vid's Disney Beat, where we talk about all things Disney. If you're new to the channel and like what you see, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. You can also find us on all your favorite social media platforms. It's still early in the year, but there is already a lot to catch you up on at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. From construction updates to ride announcements and closures, new details on Villains Land, changes coming to Galaxy's Edge, and more. There is a lot to discuss, so sit back as we count down 10 new attractions, updates, and changes at the Disney theme parks. Number 10. Animal Kingdom is in the midst of seeing a lot of exciting changes. One to look forward to, especially if you have young ones, is Bluey and Bingo coming to Conservation Station. Now you're going to want to mark your calendars for February 22nd. This is going to be the last day to experience the Wildlife Express and Conservation Station before they close temporarily to begin the transformation. This also means we'll be saying goodbye to all the animals in the affection section, as it has been confirmed that they'll be relocated to make way for animals native to Australia. I feel like kangaroos are a given, but I would love to see some koala bears as well. Then inside Conservation Station, the Disney animation experience will be removed to make way for Bluey and Bingo. Disney says you'll be able to dance and play some games from Bluey episodes with a fun animal twist. If I had to guess, I would assume that this whole corner here will be demolished to open the space up to welcome Bluey. There was a recent audition posting looking for hosts for the experience, and it sounds like it'll be in line with Goofy Corps last year during Cool Kids Summer. Now this year, Cool Kids Summer, including Goofy Corps, will be back, and it's all set to kick off on May 26th. It hasn't been announced just yet, but my speculation is that the Bluey experience at Conservation Station will be open by May 26th. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for an official opening date. Number 9. February 2nd marked the very last day to experience Dinosaur and Restaurantosaurus at Animal Kingdom. It was definitely bittersweet saying goodbye to Dinosaur, and it did get a great send-off before it's transformed into a new Indiana Jones ride. With that said though, DinoLand USA is now fully extinct, gaining a spot in the Disney history books. This also marked the end of the Dino Bash costumes, but thankfully the characters from DinoLand have been relocated. Chip and Dale are meeting just outside the courtyard before you enter the park. Donald and Daisy are up past the entrance near Garden Gate Gifts. Then Goofy is meeting in the Wildlife Express train station. Since my last visit at the beginning of February, Disney has removed the DinoLand USA sign, and work is moving along on Tropical Americas. As you can see, they are making pretty great progress on the show building for the new Encanto ride. Lots of active work is happening every single day, but from the ground, you don't really get the full scale of the building. This aerial shot from BioReconstruct changes things a little bit and provides a great view of the entire site. This angle gives you a better idea of the Encanto show building, and when it's all completed, it will cover the entire area in green. When you compare it to the model on display at Hollywood Studios, you can see how it's all gonna come together. Now, there still hasn't been any word on the ride system for Encanto, although it is rumored to be a tracked ride system, sort of like Figment. BioReconstruct also has a great shot showing the site of the new carousel. Built on the site of the former Boneyard, it's going to feature hand-carved wooden Disney animals made by a local woodcarver in the village. Then, thanks to wastewater permits that were recently filed, we now know that the new playground will be located where the Cretaceous Trail used to be. You can see there are some slides and what appears to be a climbing structure. I'm envisioning something along the lines of the Shrek playground at Universal. With losing the Boneyard, this is definitely a great replacement, rounding out the offerings in the land. Also, if you're at Hollywood Studios, don't forget to head into Disney Presents to check out the model of Tropical Americas on display. There are so many little details, and it truly illustrates how the village of Pueblo Esperanza will fit in with Africa's Harambe and Asia's Zircozong. Tropical Americas is still set to open in 2027, and my guess is that it's going to be a very late 2027 opening. That would still give crews over a year and a half to complete all the work. A lot can happen in that time, and I cannot wait to keep tracking the progress. Number 8. At the end of January, Frozen Ever After at Epcot closed for a short refurbishment to do some work on the animatronic heads. For almost 10 years, we've been seeing the projected faces for Kristoff, Anna, and Elsa, and on February 12th, these awesome physical faces made their debut on the ride. In my honest opinion, I think they look so much better than the projected faces. What do you think? Now, we've already seen the same heads used over in Hong Kong and Tokyo, and pretty soon, they'll also make their debut in Paris when World of Frozen opens in March. Here at Epcot, Imagineers took the time to touch up a lot of scenic elements in the ride, as well as update the lighting in the scenes with the new animatronic heads. These aren't massive updates, but these are the kind of enhancements that I'd love to see more of on Disney's rides. So far, the response to the change has been extremely positive, and I cannot wait to see them in person. Number 7. Beginning April 29th, 2026, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland is doing something many people have wanted since day one. The land will no longer be locked into one timeline. That's right, so get ready to bump into characters and experience moments from multiple eras, not just the sequel trilogy. This means we are getting classic characters roaming Black Spire Outpost, including Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, Han Solo, and Darth Vader. That's on top of the characters already appearing like Rey, R2-D2, Ahsoka, and the Mandalorian with Grogu. By the sounds of it though, Kylo Ren as well as Vi Moradi are being phased out, although Kylo Ren can still be found in Rise of the Resistance. Disney said that by rolling Batuu back in time, we can also expect new props and graphics to help place us in those different periods. So essentially, the Resistance Forest will remain unchanged, and then Black Spire Outpost will bring together the original trilogy. The best part of these changes is that we can expect to hear John Williams' iconic film score throughout Galaxy's Edge. The soundscape of the land is already very layered, but the one thing that was always missing was music. It could really help sweep you into different parts of Batuu. Then Oga's Cantina, which is currently closed, will also be seeing minor adjustments, and when it reopens, it'll feature the iconic Cantina Band song. I am so excited to see what kind of energy this timeline switch brings into Galaxy's Edge, and this all comes just before the new mission on Smuggler's Run with Mandalorian and Grogu, which debuts on May 22nd. It also makes you wonder if they'll do the same thing over at Hollywood Studios. For the longest time, the reason against it was because of the Galactic Star Cruiser, but now that's a thing of the past, there's really no excuses. I think many Star Wars fans would appreciate this change at Hollywood Studios, and there is no doubt that it would be positively received. Now, what are your thoughts on this change? Comment below. Number 6. If you're at Magic Kingdom, you may begin to notice changes being made to Cinderella Castle. Since the end of January, Disney has begun transforming the castle back to its original color scheme. To me, this evokes a lot more elegance compared to the 50th color scheme. When I visited, they had painted this section overnight, but it gives you an idea of the gray color that they're going with. Now, the castle moat has been drained, which means that you might start seeing cranes around the castle. The good thing is that by noon, the cranes will be lowered, so you'll still be able to get those picture-perfect shots. Now, with this work comes a couple temporary entertainment adjustments. First off, the welcome show in the morning has been put on hiatus, and for now, it's just an audio welcome message with music. Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair has been reduced from 5 to 4 performances a day, with the first performance now at 1 p.m. The fireworks in the finale have been put on pause as well, and there are no lasers in Happily Ever After. These are just small little changes, but once the work is complete, everything will return to normal. There has been no end date announced for the castle repainting, but my guess is that this will probably take 3 or so months to complete. Number 5. In more Walt Disney World construction news, facade work is continuing on Monstropolis over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Essentially, whatever needed to be demolished has already been demolished, so now get ready to see lots of facade changes. This footage is from the beginning of February, and the restroom building already had some brick veneer and molding removed. The Muppet Vision Theater had all these patches, but now they've already removed a lot of the old brick veneer here as well. Eventually, the Glob Theater will look like this, but it appears that this little mini land will come together a lot quicker than we think. Now, if you're not following BioReconstruct, you really need to because he posts some great aerial shots of all construction. This here is the current state of the future home of the door coaster. They've already laid all the electrical and plumbing and poured part of the concrete floor. The entrance outline matches the model that was on display at D23 as well as the concept art. This is going to be really cool seeing this project take shape, especially since a massive crane just arrived on site. There has been no opening timeline shared for the door coaster, but if I had to guess, I'd say expect a 2028 opening. Number 4. February 8th marked the 25th anniversary of Disney California Adventure. And although there are no big celebrations since it's still Disneyland's 70th anniversary, there are a couple things to take note of. As soon as you enter Buena Vista Street, you might just catch a glimpse of Mickey and Minnie in their new celebration outfits. If you haven't already noticed, the color palette and sun motifs on the costumes call back to the very beginning of the park. I mean, a lot has changed here since 2001, but one opening day attraction that's actually returning to DCA is Soarin' Over California. Although it's returned for limited engagements in the past, this run will be its longest since it was replaced back in 2016. You can experience Soarin' Over California until July 1st, and then on July 2nd, Soarin' Across America will make its West Coast debut. Like always, there will be celebration food and merch, but there's also a Disney Parks character debut. Over at Disney's Grand Californian Hotel, joining the characters at Storyteller's Cafe is Humphrey the Bear. Doesn't he look fantastic? I really hope they consider adding him as a meet and greet character in the park at some point, but it's still really cool that he's making his debut after all these years. Number 3. Heading back over to Disney's Hollywood Studios, construction on Animation Courtyard is also making great progress. Both sound stages have now been painted with the new colors, and they've even planted mature trees in the center of the courtyard. The trees alone already soften up the entire area, and it's only a matter of time now until it's all complete. The next bit of work we'll see happening is turning Star Wars Launch Bay back into the magic of Disney animation. Inside, we can expect meet and greets with 6 different Disney characters, a new short film, the return of the Animation Academy, plus for the little ones, there's going to be an interactive play area called Drawn to Wonderland themed after Alice in Wonderland. Now, this might not be a ride, but I'm really excited for this change because a fleshed-out attraction experience like this is exactly what Hollywood Studios needs. Plus, it ties into the look and feel of Hollywood Boulevard, bringing a bit more continuity to the theming of this area of the park. The magic of Disney animation is not set to open until late summer 2026, but the new Disney Junior show across the way is set to open a little earlier. The show has already been confirmed to be the new Mickey Mouse Clubhouse live show that debuted in California last year. Since Cool Kids Summer is set to open on May 26th, like Bluey, I believe the new show will open by then as well. Again, there has been no official confirmation, so we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled for official dates. Number 2. Over at Magic Kingdom, there are other ongoing refurbishments to take note of in addition to Cinderella Castle. First off, in Tomorrowland, work on the exterior of Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin has begun. It appears a new marquee will be built in addition to a new design for the entrance. During the Disney Parks Christmas Day special, they even showed a little clip of the new Buddy animatronic. It wasn't in full show mode, so there was no movement, but it gives you an idea of what to expect, including the new ride vehicles. When you're riding the People Mover, you can see the new interactive targets light up behind the scrim, so it leads me to believe that everything inside is pretty much complete. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is still slated to open this spring. Then over in Fantasyland, Pete's Silly Sideshow is closed as Disney works on replacing the circus tent. Now, while the attraction is closed for refurbishment, all 4 characters are still meeting outdoors in Storybook Circus. Goofy and Minnie can be found just in front of the Storybook Circus entrance, and then Daisy and Donald are by the train station restrooms. You may even catch them riding Dumbo just before their first set as well. There has been no reopening date announced just yet for Pete's Silly Sideshow. Then over in Liberty Square at the Haunted Mansion, scrims can be found across the exterior of the building, but the ride is not closing. All of this work is for an exterior refurbishment only, and it won't impact ride operations. The last time the exterior of the mansion was refreshed was in 2016, so this is just standard upkeep. Lastly, across the way in Frontierland, construction walls are now blocking off a lot more of Big Thunder Mountain, but they are making great progress on the coaster's refurbishment. Recently, Disney began testing the new trains on the new track, and it seems like this is all in line with the ride's spring reopening. This here is the new exit path for Thunder Mountain, and you've probably noticed that the area around it looks a lot different. Pretty much everything around the river's edge by Big Thunder Mountain, including the geysers, have been demolished. Over time, this area will look a lot different as the former site of the rivers is being reimagined, which we'll actually jump into next. Number 1. When it comes to the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island, well, everything has been completely demolished. There really isn't much left, and it's wild seeing this section of the park just empty. As you can see, land clearing is in progress as this massive plot of land is being transformed into a new Cars attraction for Frontierland, and then Villains Land behind that. All this footage was taken over by Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and you can see that a lot of active work is taking place. This includes clearing the entire area behind the Haunted Mansion shill building, as well as this piece of the hill, which we'll get to in a moment. Essentially, the area in purple is what has been cleared so far, which is a massive undertaking. I mean, there's a reason why this is the largest project in Magic Kingdom history. Now, thanks to another wastewater management permit filed by Disney, we now have our first look at the buildings that will be constructed for this expansion project. Let's go through what we know so far. So, these two buildings in yellow will be part of Piston Peak for the Cars Rally Race attraction. This is the fun map concept art that was released last year. So with this all in mind, my assumption is that this section of the curved building will most likely house the load and unload station. Then other parts of the building will be used for interior show scenes through some of the caverns and caves seen in the concept art. As for the building in front, well, that could be the secondary kiddie attraction they've been talking about, which might just be this area here on the fun map. Then we move up to the building in turquoise by the Haunted Mansion. That's the exact area on the hill they're currently clearing, and this placement has me questioning what this building could be. Based off the success of the Beacon Barrel, my first thought was that this could be a Haunted Mansion bar. They've already built the Haunted Mansion parlor on the Disney Cruise Line, and that's been very successful. Also, the building is about double the size of the Beacon Barrel, so a lot more people would be able to experience the parlor. This building could also house restrooms for this section of the park. Then we get into Villains Land territory with these 4 buildings, and the concept art Disney released of the land gives us some clues. So let's start with this building here. It's roughly the same size as Dinosaur, coming in at about 75,000 square feet, which is pretty large in size. We know that there are 2 main rides coming to Villains Land, so based off the concept art, my guess is that this will house a large-scale dark ride, as well as a restaurant or shop. This castle facade will probably be the entrance to the ride and/or the building. Then there's this longer, thin structure. If the concept art is accurate, which I'm starting to believe it is, then it will be some sort of underground tunnel element for a Maleficent roller coaster. I'd assume that part of the coaster track will be built outdoors as well. Finally, we have the 2 buildings in the back, which both go over the railroad tracks in some degree. The larger building is approximately 57,000 square feet, which is approximately the same size as the entire Mexico Pavilion. So again, a pretty big space. Going by the concept art, I assume this building will hold the queue and the load and unload area for the coaster. Also, maybe some shops. What's really interesting though is that the railroad track passes right through the building. I should note that currently all the tracks along the construction site have been completely removed, so a couple of things could be happening. First is that Disney could reroute the train around these show buildings, increasing the track length. Second, the train could travel through the show building, possibly allowing for an addition of an interior show scene. Or third, this building could also house an indoor train station servicing Villains Land. Another guess is that this smaller building back here could also be a Villains Land train station. The concept art shows people going down this path between the two buildings, and it could be a good spot to have a train station tucked away. I've seen some people speculate that the wastewater permit doesn't show every single building, but comparing it against the concept art leads me to believe that it is. Again, this is just me speculating, but seeing these projects come to life is very, very exciting. Villains Land and the Cars attraction are going to be two projects that will be fascinating to watch come together. Now, I'm curious on your opinions. What do you think of the layout for this area of Magic Kingdom? And what changes are you looking forward to the most at the Disney parks? I'd love to know. Leave a comment down below to start a conversation, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video.